So what's the toughest thing you had to learn? Between the Chinese pose, between the Russian swings, between the aerial scene. Just it doesn't even have to be
the toughest
related. It could be anything.
The toughest thing I had to learn was emceeing.
Emceeing, what's that?
Emceeing, like speaking on a mic.
Oh, on a mic.
On a mic in a show was the toughest thing. I have the worst ability of remembering any lines. The worst, the absolute worst. Like, you'll show me a paragraph, let me read it for like 2 hours, still won't remember it.
Yeah.
Just can't retain it. And so they were like, hey, you're going to do a half-hour show. Can you do it? No? Yeah. Well, it's okay. There's an outline of what you have to say, but then you bullshit the rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was just going to ask, were there any times that you improvised?
100%. 100%. I forgot my name in one of the shows like I recently did.
Yeah.
Like, this is still recent. Like, I'm 31 years old and I still couldn't remember my lines. So at the beginning of the show, we were pretending to be cops in a high diving show, like what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be a sergeant was the thing, right? And I was supposed to be something sergeant. I can't remember the name now, but I was just like, use your name, but don't say Richard. All right, I'm Sergeant Dick.
Yeah.
I can't say. Oh, well, yeah. All right, we're here. And then the cast members are looking at me like, what's your name? I'm Sergeant Dick, and I need you guys to head backstage. Terry will be back there waiting for you. There was never a Terry. There was no one back there.
No, that's actually hilarious, bro.
It's at one point I wanted to light a cigarette and just be like, let's see how long I can go until someone gets mad at me.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
So do you have any advice to anybody that wants to do the same thing that you're doing? As far as like, getting into acrobatics or getting into diving, any tips to anybody or
stretch every day. I promise you. You stretch every day, you're not going to die when you're 30. I promise you. Your back's going to feel like 50 if you don't stretch.
What about injuries as well? On that. What's the worst injury you've had, and how many injuries have you had?
So
from diving and from transitioning.
It's funny you say that because I think I'm going to actually say it. So, Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. My parents still to this day don't know that I tore my knee in show at Pirates.
For real?
Mm-hmm. My knee was the worst injury I've ever had performing.
Yeah.
Tearing my ACL and my meniscus.
Yeah.
It happened during the tumbling scene at Pirates. I landed, my knee tore, and I hopped off stage and was screaming for my boss.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, my knee's torn. Yeah, there's two ways about it. I tore it.
Yeah.
So, surprise!
So that was probably your worst injury?
My worst injury, yeah. But it's even funny because they would call me on FaceTime after my surgery and everything, and I'm like locked up in my knee, laying in bed for 6 months, not even working. Yeah. And they're like, how's work? I'm like, oh, I just got off early today. And I'm like hobbling up to get against a wall to stand, like so I'm not sitting every time they call me. I'm like, yeah. Or leaning up against the side, like the sliding glass. I'm like, hey, I'm just checking the flowers out today.
Yeah.
6 months. Never knew.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You had any injuries during diving?
Yeah. I actually dislocated my fingers. Not all of them, just like one.
Yeah.
I have a picture of me with like a brace on my finger in a show where you're only wearing a Speedo, so this stands out.
Yeah.
What was another one? Burned my stomach from oil at home at the house.
Yeah.
And had to go do the show in a Speedo, so I had a white Band-Aid just stuck on my stomach like this. But yeah, there is another injury at Pirates. You can actually see that on my Instagram. Plug-in.
Facts. That's exactly what we're going to do.
You'll see, like, I actually smashed my back on the tramp wall, like on the frame, and then fell in the water.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, like I just messed up. I messed up so bad that I hit the water. Everyone looked. I came out of the water, did this, and swam off. Laid backstage, and I'm like, I think I broke my back. I didn't.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're coming in tomorrow, right? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh, that's crazy, bro.
But I would say if you're planning on being an acrobat, I would say eat your greens, stretch, and just try to have fun. Like just try to have fun being in this industry, because it's not a long one.